Morning, Rosie.
Good morning,
Rosie, you're on
everyone.
mute. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Okay, good morning. I think everybody who is joining us is here, so I will call our meeting to order. And PJ, can you take the roll call, please?
Chair Darling,
Here.
Miss Andolino,
Coming back.
Here.
Mr. Bobbins,
Present.
Mr. Ford,
Here.
Miss Rooney,
They drank all of the.
Miss Sudek,
Here.
Miss Cooper Wright. Okay, we're good.
Just a quick reminder to mute if you're not speaking. I'm getting a little background noise, I think, from someone.
Yeah, if you're not speaking, just mute.
Thanks. Okay, first we have the election of officers, and those will be the same that we have had previously. We elect Mike Ford is serving as board secretary, Trish Rooney is assistant secretary, Rosie Andolino as treasurer, and Norm Bobbins as assistant treasurer. Can I get a motion to have them serve in that continuing capacity, please?
So moved.
Great.
Moved by Coco.
Hold on one second. We're admitting somebody in.
Phone.
Yeah, phone. Someone just admitted?
Yeah. Hello, who joined us on the phone? Thank you.
Sorry, the name again?
Hello, who just joined the meeting on the phone? Can you please let us know?
Sure, is that Maria? This is Yvette from the bond buyer.
Hi, Yvette.
Hi, Maria.
Okay,
Okay, can we, Leslie, can we just go back? I didn't know who seconded the motion for the election of officers.
don't think we had one. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
I'll second.
Thanks. Do we need a roll call vote, or can a voice vote suffice?
We need a roll call vote.
Okay, great.
Okay, Chair Darling,
Yes.
Miss Andolino,
Yes.
Mr. Bobbins,
Yes.
Mr. Ford,
Yes.
Miss Rooney, Miss Sudek,
Yes.
Miss Cooper Wright. Okay, we're good.
Okay, great. That passes, and thank you all for continuing to serve. We're going to move to approval of the minutes. If everybody's had a chance to review those, I'll take a motion to approve in a second.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion, changes, amendments necessary? Okay, hearing none, let's take the roll on that, please.
Okay, Chair Darling,
Yes.
Miss Andolino,
Yes.
Mr. Bobbins,
Yes.
Mr. Ford,
Yes.
Mr. Ford.
Sorry, yes.
Okay, Miss Rooney, Miss Sudek,
Yes.
Miss Cooper Wright. Good.
Okay, those are approved. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the 2021 season schedule of fees to the authority audit report. And the audit report, Dana, that's you. Would you take it away, please?
Okay. The auditors, Mitchell and Titus, performed the audit of the 2021 season ticket fees for, and there were, as you know, because we had a limit, kind of a shorter season, the attendance threshold was not met to actually get any additional net ticket fees. So the cover memo and the information that's in your board materials is the audit report reflective of that, and the history, but also with the history of payments from the White Sox to the authority. And the definitions aren't for each of the columns is also attached to that as well. So at this time, unless there are some questions, I'm asking the board to grant a motion to accept the audit report for the season ticket fees for 2021.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Leslie, you're
Leslie,
mute. You're mute.
Sorry, any questions or for Dana on this issue? Okay, hearing none, we can move to a vote to accept.
Do you
Move
need a roll
to.
call?
Sorry,
Maria, do
PJ?
you need a roll call?
Yes,
Yes.
we need a roll call
Okay.
on every.
All right,
Oh.
Chair Darling,
Yes.
Ms. Andalino,
Yes.
Mr. Bobbins,
Yes.
Mr. Ford,
Yes.
Ms. Rooney, Ms. Sudek,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper Wright. We're good.
Okay, this has been accepted. Thank you. Moving on, Dana, will you discuss the fiscal year 2022 operating results through the end of December 2021?
Okay, we are looking pretty good right now. We are exceeding the budget for the half of the year by $14.6 million. Ma'am, it totals $14.6 million and we're exceeding it by about $500,000. And it would have been a little higher had we not had the timing of the Series 2021 bond reoffering finishing up. So that's why you're seeing it's a little bit less. Although I do want to remind you that those bond fund costs were paid out of the cost of issuance dollars. So it's not like it's taking anything away from the funds that we have on hand. Again, we had no major events through 2021, but that we did have nice pieces of revenue to offset some of that loss. It could have been larger. Operational savings to date are $154.9 thousand, and we have some accelerated reimbursements for Soldier Field that basically were unfavorable, led to an unfavorable variance, but the offset was due to timing of the guaranteed rate projects that are in process or started are being delayed somewhat through December. Net hotel taxes, as of December, we are within a stone's throw of being at the budgeted number. I'm sorry, at December, we're at 11.9. We have a favorable variance of 5.1 million in excess of the budget. So as of February, which is this just recent reporting period, we are within a stone's throw of being at our full budget for the year. So we are like 95% close to being at that number. So we got about $1.2 million to get to that. So I think probably March reporting from the Department of Revenue will throw us above that number because that is a December reporting period. We are heading into the winter months. And with winter months, you typically see a lag in hotel stays. So that's going to be impacted to a degree by COVID. Seems that it's not as impactful from the Omicron variant as much right now, but we don't know. I'm looking at the numbers and it doesn't look like that's going to impact it as much as we thought. So because we are seeing recovery, though, still not enough for the end of the year to offset the advance. So I'm still projecting that we're not going to be close to that number. Let's see, I don't think there's anything more that I have to report unless there are some questions about the materials in the board book. I'd be happy to answer those now.
Any questions for Dana about the report?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I get two questions. So last year, we heard that 2025 was predicted to be when hotel revenue came back. Is
Mhm.
that still the projection, or is there any chance that it's accelerating?
So far it seems like it's 2024, but they're talking, it seems like there's a lot of talk about calendar year. So for us, it may be that we're going to see more of an impact in our fiscal year 2025. So
Okay.
you'll see the full amount of it as opposed to a portion of it.
If things continue on this way, what's the city's shortfall going to be? What's the
Okay.
shortfall of the city's responsibility for our funds?
So right now, I'm projecting the amount to be between 28.4 and 29.7. I'm sorry, 27.6 and 28.9.
Million.
Yes.
You repeat that? Which numbers were they?
27.6 million and 28.9. So that's the estimate of the range of the estimate currently.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And again, the city is aware and has been briefed on this, Dana and Frank.
Correct.
Yes.
I've been talking with Jenny a number of times over the last month and a half,
Okay, great. Thank you.
as well as the state as well.
And just as long as we're covering this, what is your projection for June of 2023?
June of 2023 is
18, I think.
of, you mean of impact or revenue?
Shortfall.
Shortfall. The shortfall that I am projecting so far is 18.4.
Okay. And that, in answer to the question that was asked earlier, hopefully in 2025, we will not have that shortfall.
Correct.
Hard to predict, but that's what
Right.
that's our best guess at the moment.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, there's one more thing to bring up to you guys. In the event that, I mean, we're hoping that hotel taxes will recover sufficiently, so maybe that we have the ability to look at some refinancing of bonds in 2024, since we do have that extension of time frame for to 2032 from 2032 from the public act that the governor put into place in June. So, you know, hopefully maybe that can alleviate some of the issues, as long as we're meeting all of our bond test requirements, of which the biggest one is the first tier test of hotel tax for statewide.
So I just want to say, so that anticipated shortfall for 2023 right now is just a projection and can change based on recovery of hotel taxes, both on our side and also ability to refinance and extend the term to 2033.
But it does speak to a projected, essentially, expense of the city
Yes.
that has to get paid through the joint fund, right? Do you ever do projections out further into the future?
Yes, we had an economist do some projections out into the future, and they were pretty, he did a base case and a worst case scenario through 2026, and it was pretty daunting. I'm still actually going through the information now, but it's, you know, when you look at all of the GDP factors and some other things, and then there's a COVID coefficient that they put into it, it's very much an exercise. So
Has that been publicly made available?
no, because I'm still in the review process.
I think that it's important that at some point that get released to the public. I think the people have a right to know that. And I'd like to know that, actually.
Okay.
So one of the, if I could add a little sunshine on this, I think that, with all of the waivers or restrictions coming off in travel, prediction of it bouncing back. So hopefully, to Norm's point, by 2023, that shortfall will be lessened due to the fact that specifically European, we're seeing what's happening in Australia. Again, with these restrictions being released, you should see much more of a projected growth in travel, which means greater use of hotels, et cetera. So hopefully, with the pandemic now looking behind us, or easing up, especially on the international front, I think that we should be able to hopefully meet and or rebound quickly would be my guess in terms of the travel and what is projected for the industry as a whole.
And I'll just add to, in talking to, folks at McCormick Place as well as Choose Chicago, they're excited about at least right now, the 40 plus events that they have scheduled for the rest of this year. They're gaining traction, and talking to them over the last couple of weeks as well in regards to more people reaching out and trying to just build that number. And they know that they will. So they're excited about the people that are finally reaching back out to them about setting up some conventions.
Okay, any other questions for Dana on this? All right, thank you. Let's move on to the presentation of the FY23 preliminary budget. Dana, you're muted.
Okay, for fiscal 2023, the proposed budget anticipates a cost of $72.146 million. Debt service trustee fees and contractual obligations for Soldier Field total $61.5 million, and that represents about 85% of the budget, of which 71.4% is for debt service and trustee fees. Also for Guaranteed Rate Field, the total of the debt service trustee fees and contractual obligations is $7.9 million. That budget is 11% of the budget, and 8.1% is contractual obligations. A very small amount of debt service because of the maturities being later in down in term, like 27, 28, and 29. Operational costs are a total of $2.7 million and represent 3.7% of the budget. Almost $1 million of that is related to commercial insurance for stadium, public officials, and liability coverage. So hotel taxes for 2023 are not expected to rebound sufficiently and are projected to be $43.7 million net. And, obviously that could change. We're still looking at preliminary numbers, and we're looking at, if there's something that happens, we're looking at openings like Rosie's talking about, but that data has not really been funneled in to tell me what the information will look like for now. So I'm hoping that maybe by May we'll have a better idea of what that looks like. And just as a reminder that we'll have to certify the chairman's certificate at the May board meeting in order to meet the June 1st statutory deadline. And I want to just make sure that everybody's there in May so that by June 1st we can get this approved. If you go back to the tab 7 behind the blue page, you'll see basically a summary of what I'm talking about. Pages 1 and 2 show you the amount of the expenses and the revenue where they were projecting, and the shortfall also, which is showing up as the state advance amount above the net hotel taxes of $18.4 million. Pages 2 kind of gives you a breakout of what the expenditures are, so you're able to see what they look like on between years, as well as what they look like as a percentage of the budget, if you look to the bottom of page 2 of 7. And that's all I have, actually, unless you have some questions.
Thanks, Dana. Questions? Okay, no questions on the preliminary budget. Maureen, can you present the guaranteed rate field capital repairs, both the FY22 renovation update and status report and the FY23 capital budget?
Sure thing. Okay, well, we're in full swing to get all of our projects completed, and we're still holding to our hard date of opening day of the 30th. So we're gearing toward that. We are very optimistic. So you know, everything's we've had a few delays with some of the equipment for the HVAC, just lag time, COVID lag time things. But we're working to fit those in on away stands and minimize those jobs that we're going to have to fit in on the away stands. But the White Sox have been very good in helping us do that, and they, you know, because they fully understand the situation and fully understand the need to get this work done. However, we need to get it done. So that's moving right along, and I don't have any hiccups or anything like that to report. The 2020, well, one other item, we calculated the calendar year 2021 MBE WBE percentages this year, and we are at 30% and 14% WBE. That's 44%, and I'm working toward going over the 50% one this next year. We're very focused and very focused with the White Sox to achieve those, and that helps them with their their Major League Baseball goals also. So yeah, we're very, that was a good report, and we're sending that to the state March 1st. So
That's great news, Maureen. Thank you for your efforts on that.
yeah, you just got to have it as kind of the first things you talk about. That's what I've learned.
I only wish we could get the word out that we're doing it. I
Yeah.
don't think people appreciate everything you're accomplishing.
Yeah. The fiscal year 2023 budget, I pushed that back up. I've seen a few instances where, you know, we've backed off for a couple years, but this is a 31-year-old building, and I needed to bolster this budget up a little bit to handle some of the things that have been coming through as emergency repairs because of a smaller budget that I couldn't address everything in the park. So it's kind of a wide range of things that we're addressing with this budget. There's some structural things that need to be done, the facade, you know, and we're going to phase that, you know, and the scoreboard control room, that's already in a phased form. Otherwise, if we wait for, you know, if we wait a long period of time, then we can't afford the one-time hit. But we just changed over our operating system on the scoreboard, and that went very smoothly. So this next year it might be the switches or the cameras, but we just keep moving forward on that. Same thing with the security, the perimeter upgrades. We're still working over at Gate 5 to address not only the security perimeter upgrades with regard to drainage over there, concrete, pavers. There's a few issues over there that need to be addressed that have been costing us money as a continual basis. So that is it in a nutshell. We're you know, looking to just go forward with a larger budget and hopefully a larger MBE WB participation too. So
Maureen,
yes.
can I just ask, what is one usually consider the life of a stadium? 50 years?
Well, we're the 6th oldest. And then you have Boston and Wrigley. Yes. So we're probably past. But it's, you know, we've done very well in replacing the components and keeping those like new, you know, the mechanicals. And you know, and that's the bones of this, you know, so as long as we can keep it like new and keep the White Sox happy with you know, some of the upgrades that we're doing, I don't know. We'll
If I could just add one too, in my short life here, the weekly meetings with the White Sox and Mike and his team and Maureen are instrumental to this place staying the way it is. And obviously, from ISFA to the White Sox, everyone likes seeing and walking into a beautiful complex and facility and grounds. And, our goal is to maintain that. But without those weekly meetings, we're both on the same page. We're both in agreement in regards to what needs to get fixed. I'm sure there's always a question in regards to which projects are the priority, but that's why we meet on a weekly basis to go over the short-term and long-term stuff, agenda items, and it's really working well.
Okay, thank you.
I was going to second that as well. I mean, with the locker room upgrades, the electronics and the screens, the facility itself has continued to keep pace, right, with what's happening in the MLB. So being an old facility, I think that it has good bones that you've been able to A, maintain it, and B, refresh it. Goose Island seating that was done with the White Sox in the outfield there, just bringing a different level of experience to the customer to meet with the trends that, are happening out. So it has the flexibility, and more importantly, we have the partnership to move those things forward in a collaborative way. So I want to thank John and Maureen, the White Sox and ISFA for that effort, because I think we've been able to stay ahead of the game there. Now we just, I'm going to add to the elephant in the room. We just need that winning season, John, and that's going to be put on you all.
Thank you. If I may, I have to say, Gorski, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm getting all these kudos for how well things are going over. No, thanks, Maureen. I do appreciate it. And Frank. No, literally, I had 3 different departments approach me before this meeting as I go around and get some info prior to the board meetings, and between the sound system, between marketing, between the Spadalian facilities operations, to one, they said we've got the best team that they've seen, and I've seen in my 17 years. So thank you. We don't expect that everything we ask for we will get, and we understand that, but it's an environment where it's addressed and it's talked through, and we figure out what can and cannot be done. So I wanted to thank ISFA, especially Frank and Maureen, for working that through.
Thanks, John. We really appreciate that. I think that even though we are an older facility in the league, it is our priority to maintain it as a premier facility in the league. And we appreciate your partnership, and we believe that we're operating at a very high capacity and providing a great service to our visitors and to the White Sox. So we appreciate your partnership and want to continue being a premier facility in the country.
On the second half of the question, Rosie, that's outside of legal's control. That's all I can say. No, we are hopeful. We're hopeful. Let's get the season started first.
Yeah.
We want that too, John. Okay, other questions for Maureen? Comments?
I got, Maureen, I just continue to be amazed at your ability to increase the MBE participation in the vendors. It's so great. I have 2 questions. Are you seeing anecdotally, I guess, any inflation in the prices that you're seeing for projects?
Yes, yes, but it's not like going to the grocery store yet. The grocery prices seem to have rebounded exponentially. They're a little bit higher, but nothing crazy. More just the lag of the equipment coming in.
Now I just have like a little trivia question. What's the operating system behind the scoreboard?
It's Ross LED is the name of it, is the name of the system. They had Click Effects, and Click Effects went belly up. They're obsolete. So everybody's changing over to this Ross system. So
Well, good for Ross. All right, thank you.
yeah.
All right, great. Other questions? All right, well, Maureen, excellent job. I really appreciate all the work you're doing. We're really proud of the MBE and WBE numbers, as Coco indicated, and appreciate all your work in that regard and maintaining the facility as well as we do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now moving into other business. Frank, do you have anything that you'd like to share with the board?
Sure. Just hopefully you guys have received the 2021 annual report. We put to paper and sent to you and sent out as well. Norm, in regards to your question in regards to getting those numbers out there, we are starting to do that as well. We had a House hearing earlier this month on February 9th, where we went through next year's budget and some of our numbers. A number of electeds were impressed. Some of them obviously are going to continue to push to raise those numbers as we are. But it was overall a good House hearing. We have our Senate hearing on our budget March 15th. And so we will continue to promote. We are talking about more promotions or other ways and ways of promoting, obviously, the facility, redoing some of, not just the website, but also some of the material that we put out publicly, and making sure that those numbers are inclusive, because those are important for people to see. As I mentioned, though, in talking with Choose Chicago, they gave us this past week, we got our ability to go in and change and update some of the information that we have on their site. As you guys have heard me talk about in the past, we weren't actually on their calendar. So now we have the ability to update that ourselves, as well as insert in portions of their website they have where if somebody's promoting a convention or something, they can come and look at our facilities. We can put new pictures in there. So it's another exciting way for us to just get the word out about the facility and the rental opportunity here.
Thank you, Frank. Questions for Frank? Great. I just want to thank Frank and all the staff, Dana, the amazing work you did to put everything together for this meeting, and all the continued work on the financials of this organization. I realize what a heavy lift it is, and I'm really grateful. I think the entire board is grateful. You're doing a terrific job, and Frank, thank you. And other questions or comments for other business? Okay, I don't think we have members of the public, but I will ask if there's any public comment. Okay, hearing none. Frank, do we have any reason to go into an executive session?
I don't at this time, no.
Okay, all right, excellent. Any other discussion, questions before we adjourn the meeting? PJ, when is our next scheduled meeting, please? You're muted.
It's May 25th, 2022. It's on the
Right.
agenda.
Right. Okay.
Right, PJ, you're muted,
May 25th.
That was great watching PJ throw her voice like that.
which is still muted. Like, PJ, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I did say May 25th, but I'm thinking, why is Maria telling them?
I was like, because you're
Sorry
muted.
about that, guys. I did also say that the only one I don't know about May 25th is Tara. I just sent her a text while we were talking when Dana mentioned how important the May meeting was. So I'm waiting for an answer back on her. Other than that, everyone has said they are available on May 25th.
Perfect. All right. Well, then we will also hope to do an in-person meeting. We will be in touch soon about that, but I think to the extent possible, we should try and meet in person, and so expect a location coming from us, likely at the ballpark. John, before we adjourn, is there any update from the White Sox besides the comments you've already provided that you would be willing to share? I know we've talked about the labor strife a little bit and our hopes for there to be some movement on that soon so we can have a regular season. Any other things you'd like to just share before we let you go?
Yeah, there's really not much that I can add other than what's in the press right now. February 28th, which is coming up, is seems to be the deadline for not losing games. At least that's the announced date, but we will see how that goes. I really don't have anything else that I can add to that. But we will certainly, something comes down, obviously, you'll know as soon as we do, but we'll let everybody know.
Okay, great. All right, if there are no further questions or discussion, then do we need a motion to adjourn, or we just can adjourn the meeting?
You're
Move to
muted.
adjourn.
I know.
Move to adjourn.
You can
Okay.
adjourn. Move to
Second.
adjourn.
All right.
Adjourn.
Well, we'll just go ahead and adjourn then. I thank you all for your participation today, and particularly the staff. And let us know if you have other questions. Feel free to call me or Frank or any of the team if you wish to discuss any of this further. And I will look forward to hopefully seeing everyone in person at our May meeting. And we hopefully will look forward to having a regularly scheduled opening day.
Leslie, if I could just add, we're going to try and possibly, since we had to delay the tour from December, we're going to try and possibly do a tour for the May meeting.
Oh, great.
And the May meeting is a little bit longer normally because you have the chairman's certificate and everything. So if people are going to join us for the tour, it'll be a little bit longer.
Okay. All right. That's great. Well, hopefully everyone can add a little bit of additional time to their calendar to be able to participate in that. Coco?
Do we have to bring our own mitts?
Yeah.
They're
Or
the
do you guys
same
supply
that
them?
day. We're playing
You gotta
Boston
bring-
that day in the evening.
You got to bring a glove and your own bat. So
Koga, left-handed or right-handed? I'll make sure we have something.
I wouldn't be able to catch anyway, so.
all right. Well, thanks everybody very much. Have a good day, and we will talk to you all soon and see you in May.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you.